Wyatt said, I doubt you remember me, but you help so much. I don't remember Wyatt. Do you remember Wyatt? I'm sure I would if I seen him.
Yeah,
Is that for me? Because I like to help people. Did I help you, Wyatt?
Hey, thank you, Wyatt.
Yeah, she's a very helpful person.
I am.
So Wyatt, I mean, with more information, I'm sure we would absolutely remember you because, we remember people.
Thinking about earlier.
Yeah, what?
You know what I was thinking about earlier?
What? Tell
I was
me.
thinking about being little and like how I would cuddle with mom a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember like just laying on the couch and being like, "Mom,
Yeah, I
come
remember
cuddle
that.
me."
It was
Come
my
cuddle me,
favorite.
Mom. And like,
I
and
missed
now
having
like
little kids to cuddle.
I know now I just don't even cuddle my mom anymore.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Well,
the
that gets
hell?
weird after a certain age.
I
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
but it's
that's,
just
I
like,
think
why?
they start calling that incest at some point.
You are just
Yeah.
too much.
Just because
I'm
things
just
are weird
saying
with
that-
your mom doesn't mean
I'm just saying that when I was 2, I stopped cuddling with my mom.
Two? That
Two.
explains a
She
lot.
said, she said it's about time for you to grow up.
Yeah, she
Bam.
did.
She gave me a smack.
I
You
remember,
want a kiss? Oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
I remember.
That's how I was raised.
I remember watching 8 Below, sick as a dog, cuddling mom.
Yeah, no, Ma was a good mom.
She was cuddling me.
Lori was a good mother. She really was.
The word was. That's,
Well,
that's thanks.
you're still a mother. You're still a good mother.
I know, I'm just not good. Is that what you're saying? She was a good mom. But something happened.
Yeah, it went downhill after a certain when you start
After-
drinking wine excessively.
After that David
I know.
Blaine trick.
Yeah, after the David Blaine trick, you were like,
Oh,
there,
went
there can't be a God. I'm going downhill.
He's not doing any tricks.
He's not doing enough tricks for me. God, this podcast has really gotten off to a weird
I know,
start,
man. We're
It's all
fucked.
good.
We're never gonna grow.
I know.
We're fucked.
We appreciate everyone that endures the podcast because, yeah, no, I think it's all right. This is what we are, right?
That's it.
I know, dude.
Well-
I feel bad. Like I feel like sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, like I just say the wrong things. Like I don't mean to say the things I say sometimes. Like it's just what I say, and then I'm just like, oh fuck. Like I basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I hope that I can have a long career because
You have a lot of baggage
yeah,
behind you.
yeah, because like something's
But-
gonna my mouth, dude. I can't control it.
But in the way, the thing is that I think that all right, so when I drop the F-bomb, people are like, oh my God, Brian swore. When you drop the F-bomb, they don't even listen anymore, right? They might be like, you have a potty mouth. You know what I mean?
totally
So
true.
I think that sometimes, again, like with comedians, the ones that are kind of raw and like say obnoxious things from the beginning get away with it. And then the ones that are like clean and wholesome and then accidentally drop like some nasty thing.
agree.
They're the ones that get like ostracized and like canceled. Like you're canceled because you get Tosh.0 and so many of these other guys that say things that are just completely outrageous.
I know.
And everyone just thinks, yeah, but that's Tosh.0. You know what I mean? He does that. And
I
then,
just think about that. Like, it's just hard sometimes to like.
yeah. Well, we know, Jay knows with me, it's like I'm very careful because people don't expect me to say stupid
on
things.
film.
You have a
Yeah, well, right.
You
Well,
have
that's
a great career. You know what I mean? You have a beautiful thing here. So
I think that
That's a beautiful.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
But he's also like not like cursed a lot and stuff like stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
so
like
yeah,
you get looked at as the good kid in class, where like if you drop a pencil, the teacher yells at you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That is, and that's I think maybe even the reptile hobby. That was kind of the way, right? I know Lori's laughing. I don't know what she's laughing about, but
how did you turn from the good kid to get to the good kid?
well, I think we always were like, we took the high road all the time, right?
The high road.
So we didn't like get in the trenches with other people and fight. And when people said negative things, we didn't bash them back. And so we always were just kind of like the wholesome, company when it came to reptiles. So when things went bad, and not that we didn't become wholesome, but people started beating us up. I think that it was easier for people to beat us up. Because it's like, oh, Brian is a terrible
him
guy.
bad.
He's, people thought he was good, but he's a terrible guy,
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you get like a Kevin McCurley, who I talked to this morning, and he's always been like, if someone attacks him, he'll attack you twice as hard. he'll come at you like, oh yeah, you want to fight? Let's go ahead and get down into the dirt, And I've always been the guy that kind of just goes, oh yeah, it's okay, turn the other cheek,
He's making people drink the moose goose.
Yeah, the moose.
What is it called? The guzz?
Moose milk.
The moose milk.
The moose milk.
Gus.
Come over here, get some guzz.
But yeah, Pete was Kevin was at Pete's today. Pete calls today.
Oh wow, where's his place located?
Maryland.
Maryland.
So
dang. So I was just gonna make something stupid. I was like, oh wow, there's a bunch of famous guys on the East Coast, but it's really spread out across the whole country. So
now with reptile people, it really is. Yeah. Weirdly enough, people don't realize this, and your mom would obviously knows this, but there was a period of time where probably the largest collections of snakes in the world were in Michigan. Wow. All of them. Or not all of them, but a good chunk of them. We had probably 5 or 6 collections in Michigan that were all in the top 10 collections in the world, and it was in Michigan. So you would never think Michigan being the place of like a mecca of reptiles, but it was.
Is it sort of just like a easy law situation?
No, I think what it was, it was just that there was a couple guys that had a lot of animals, and then other people they were mentors to them, and they grew and so on like that. That's kind of what happened with me. Mark Bell was big. Mark started with Tom Lamont was like the big guy here, and then Mark Tom was Mark's mentor, and then Mark grew, and then I became and then Mark became my mentor, and so on and so forth, and then we all kind of grew big collections from there. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's cool though. So okay, can I ask you a question? So when you are at this apprenticeship per se, right? Yeah, because obviously it wasn't whatever, but did you and your colleagues around you ever talk and imagine of days like today?
Well, yeah, I mean, so it's an interesting thing, right? Because really at that point, Mark Bell, who still has probably the largest collection in the world down in Naples, Florida, he supplies PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus, and right, but at the time he was in Michigan, and we had several of we were all friends. We all worked at pet shops. We all hung out and stuff like that. And every one of us had a growing collection, and every one of us hoped one day to be a big dog in the reptile world. As it worked out, and they kind of all fell off over years. You know what I mean? Like they just never were able to. Perseverance is difficult. I mean, it's not easy to go from having a few snakes to doing it as a business and a livelihood,
Now, did they fall off because of will, or was it just life?
I think it was more will, mostly. I mean, they weren't willing to maybe put the sacrifice. Hard life too, yeah.
Because that's the key with a lot of stuff. I think you achieve a lot more with a partner / wife, husband that is
you have twice
with
the
you
people,
and willing to do that.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
9 out of 10 times that's what happens. It's one person trying to do it alone, and the other person is not interested, and that's your thing, and you're not going to do it. And one person, you can only go so far.
Yeah,
and then if you do partnerships with people who are not your spouse, that never ends well, because that only goes so far. And then
like Forrest always said, the only what was it?
The only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership.
Yeah, the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. Yeah.
So I think a lot of times in a lot of things that's a huge key.
And that's really not a good saying, because a lot of ships don't sail. There's a lot of sinking ships.
There's a lot of shitty ships.
There's a lot of shitty ships out there, especially those cement ships in New Jersey.
Yeah, dude, those Camden cement ships.
Believe that?
What, the cement ships?
Have you seen those things?
Yeah,
I went there.
Yeah,
idiots.
Yeah,
and literally it's still sunken in Cape May.
Yeah, because who's going to move it?
Who's going
to
get it out?
heavy.
Made out of concrete.
Yeah, it's made out of concrete.
So dumb.
But no, it is interesting. I say a lot of. I don't know so much as today because I don't follow the reptile community as closely as I used to. But for most of our career, probably the most successful reptile collections were like
husbands and
wives
that work together.
That work together.
Yeah, you guys, TSK,
Mark.
Yeah, Mark and the Max. Yeah, the Max. I mean, there were so many of them. I mean, you could go on and on and on with
Lori and Brian.
Yeah, Bill Brandt and Marsha, who had the Gourmet Rodent, which is again, I think now the second largest collection in the world, still to this day. Don and Robbie
You guys
Hamper.
hear that? We're giving out hot tips, everybody. If
So
you want to be big,
yeah, you get yourself a woman.
a woman,
You get yourself a woman that can work.
one like Lori.
Yeah, one
Good
like
luck.
Lori.
Yeah.
Tell her.
There's
get
not a lot
the
out
Broke
there.
the mold.
There's not a lot out there that'll do the shit I do.
There's
so
not.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
There's not, man.
No,
I
there's
stay
not.
searching. I stay searching.
Yeah.
I say, are you like my mama?
You got my mom.
9 out of 10 or no.
No.
And then I'm like, oh, I might have a 1 out of 10 here. And then a few months later, I'm like, oh, nope.
No, she's
They
not,
just,
yeah.
none of them are as good as my mother.
No. Oh, that
He's
is
such a
sweet.
good boy.
He is a good boy. Okay, let's move on.
Judy, Judy,
Rail this
damn,
damn-
son.
Can we rail this in?